Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. You know who I am. This is Lethal Black Man, and I just want to talk about something really fast. I'm gonna do my best to try not to make this video too long, because I know there's a black screen once again, because it's very early in the morning and I can't get to my monitor. But I promise you, the very next video that I make, you will be able to see stuff again, so don't worry. I made a video last night talking about how I'm just totally, exhausted and just tired of seeing black men and black women continuously make mistakes. These black men and black women that I'm talking about right now, they flaunt their interracial relationships all over social media as if it's the best thing that's ever happened to them. Black people do not win when they get into these situations. They don't win at all. I don't care if they think that racism is over because they are in a relationship with a person who is non-black, especially a white person. But racism isn't going anywhere because there are too many hateful people out here. Okay? I'm not one of them. I don't care what you think about me because I know I don't hate people. I dislike people, but hate is too much of a strong emotion for me to even, have for a group of people. I just don't have. I don't even hate my own people. I dislike some of my own people as well because I'll tell you about the situation with the guy that I ran into, okay? But that still didn't make me hate my own people. But I'm really so fucking tired of the mistakes that black people make. By now, being on this earth as long as you have, researching your history, knowing your history, and seeing that history is not changing but continuing to, go the same route as it did back in the day, and you still make mistakes like this is ridiculous. So let me get to the mistakes I'm talking about, because you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Black people still interracially dating with exclusively white people, putting them on a pedestal, believing everything that white people tell them. Okay, you had black people, I believe was in Kansas City. I think that's where it was. I seen a video of Willie D's just the other day, and black people were divided on removing Martin Luther King Boulevard from their street. And I think what happened is that it went down the middle, but eventually the vote came to pass that the Martin Luther King Boulevard that was in Kansas City, I believe they removed it. And these are black people doing this, so they know who Martin Luther King is. They know that he was a civil rights activist, okay? And they totally disrespect him by getting his name removed from a street. How low can black people go? How low? Seriously. The reason why I still have hope for my people, even though I know there are some people that say they've given up on black people that are black just like me, they've given up. But the reason why I still have hope is that I know that not all black people are like this. There are many black couples out there that are in love with each other. There are many black couples out there who are raising their children together, and they can't stand this oppression. They call it out. I have hope for that. But when you see any group of black people, it's embarrassing. It embarrasses me to see black people acting this way. It embarrasses me when I see black men bowing down to white supremacy. It embarrasses me when I see and hear about black women saying they want all black men dead. I'm not talking about all black women. I'm talking about the swirling camp. When you have black women writing, and I've talked about it numerous times, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you need to understand. That's why I keep saying it over and over again, because if I keep repeating it and you understand it, you will see and just realize how asinine and foolish and absolutely ridiculous this is. Black women writing books on how to attract white men, how you need to act, on how you need to behave to get yourself a white man. Do you realize how fucking foolish that is? Do you realize how retarded that is? You're writing books on how to attract another man of another race who has continuously put laws into place for our people to be oppressed, and has done nothing to stop those laws from oppressing us because they don't care. Now, like I told you before, I don't want the white man's help, okay? Black people need to work with each other to change what is happening. And then you have black men who degrade their women publicly on social media platforms, talk about how ugly their women are, which that's not true because black women are not ugly at all. They're the most beautiful women on the planet. But they get mad at other black men who put these black women on a pedestal because that's what a black man should do. He should put his woman on a pedestal because it is an extension of him. It is his female counterpart and the most beautiful woman that exists, and the woman that will bear his children to continue the lifespan of the black community. But there are black men who will shame other black men who have love for black women. And equally, there are black women that will shame black women who have love for their black men. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand how fucking retarded this is? That we have black people that will ridicule you for wanting to love your own people. Do you understand that it sounds absolutely ridiculous for a black person to be doing the work of white supremacy to try to destroy their own people for the people who want to destroy them as a whole? Do you understand how fucking stupid that is? Do you get it? Do you really get it? YouTube has this thing called bad actors. Let me tell you what a bad actor is in my eyes. Bad actors are these fucking people that don't talk about racism, okay? Bad actors are these interracial couples that try to make black women believe that when they're with white men, nothing goes wrong, that everything is fucking rainbows, candy canes, and gumdrops, Walt Disney World. That's bad acting to me because that's not reality. They have problems just like every other couple. They have a lot more problems because they're from two different backgrounds. No white man will ever understand what a black woman goes through, okay? Because he's not a black man. He don't live the struggle. I don't give a fuck if it's a white man that's poor. He will never understand what black people go through. That's why the majority of the time when these women are in relationships with these white men, they can't talk about what happens and what affects them as a black person because the white person does not give a fuck about it. The same thing goes for black men who are in relationships with these white women or non-black women. You think they give a fuck what is happening to you? You may get that one person who actually cares, but the majority of these interracial relationships are never going to be any kind of relationship where you can have a discussion about what affects black people when you're black, because you have to conform to their ideals, their mindset, because they don't want to hear that shit. You think a black man or a black woman wants to let go of that white person or non-black person that they've got in that relationship? They think they've won the jackpot. They are going to do everything in their power to make sure that they keep that person. If they have to shut the fuck up forever about racism and start talking like they don't care about racism, or, you know, black people get what they deserve, or they have to just have a mindset of not giving a shit, they will do it to stay with that person. Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it. I don't come on YouTube to start shit. I don't come on YouTube to be a controversial person. I come on YouTube and I speak the truth. December 10th, I hear some channels may be losing the entire service because they're not commercially viable. They're not people that these companies deem to be marketable. I think I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Even if I lose my channel, even if other people in the black community who are trying to help black people and wake them up lose their channel, the damage to white supremacy has already been done. It may not be a big, huge dent, but it's done enough where we have black people that are waking up and are already awoke, and they're not going back to sleep. They will call out and continue to call out racism. But calling out racism and continuing to do that alone is not helping against white supremacy. There needs to be more action being taken. People need to fight for their rights. They need to stay on white supremacy's ass until it falls to the ground and crumbles forever. The fact that we have black people, African people, who just freely go around having interracial relationships with these white people especially, I don't understand it. I just don't get it. The African people piss me off with that shit because, they are surrounded by their own people 24/7. They are the majority of the people that live on the continent. There are some white people over there as well. But how the fuck do you think it's a good idea for you to be in a relationship with those people. You're not going to create any children that look like you, even though the children will have melanin in them because one of their parents has melanin. But why would you even get involved in a relationship with one of those people when you know what these people's history are? And they're still exploiting Africa now. You got the Chinese going in there to take it over. And you still have people in this world, in our black community, who support interracial relationships. There should be no black person on this earth that supports interracial relationships. The true people in our community who support those particular relationships, they tell on themselves. They have a desire to be with those people. But the real kings and queens in the black community are against it. Not because we hate white people. It's not about hate at all. It's because we want to reproduce with each other. It's because we love each other enough to know that if we don't reproduce with each other, we can't create more of ourselves. And not to mention, most of us know our history, and we know what the history of these people are and still show today. These people have enslaved you, have beaten you, have raped children, have used children as alligator bait, impregnated women who were married to men who were slaves, and made biracial children, and gave us a racially classed system, gave us colorism, make laws to oppress us, and they enjoy when we attack each other instead of attacking them. But you people out there who believe in interracial relationships and want to say, oh, black man this and black woman that, you don't care. You don't care. You just don't. And I can't understand that. You allow some sort of Walt Disney fantasy into your fucking mind to believe that racism does no longer exist, and it continues to exist to this day. The evidence is there right in front of your face, but you choose to ignore it. If you see a black person who's innocent get killed by police, you blame that black person. You don't blame the police. You believe the police were doing their job. The black person should have been complying. Tell that to the woman who was killed in her house by a police officer who shot her outside her house. Tell that to the man who lost his life inside his house when a police officer broke in. And his family didn't give a fuck about him because they forgave the person that murdered him. Shaking my head because I don't understand what it will take for black people to wake the fuck up. I understand that many of us are waking up, but I don't understand why all of us aren't waking up. You will literally have someone watch this video, or someone will right now be thinking about dating a white man or dating a white woman or a non-black person, and they don't give a fuck about what's going on with their people. I don't understand how you don't think that will affect you, because it will. I can't tell you what to do, but I wish you would think. And then if you tell them that it's bad to date these people who are in the dominant society, so-called dominant society that is crumbling to the ground right now, they say, well, if not a white person, what do you think about Asian or Indian or Arab? They still want the option to date outside their community. Do you believe this? They still want the option to date outside of their community. If I can't be with a white person, can I be with an Asian? I don't understand you people. I don't understand it. Do you understand that if you get with someone who's not like you, you're creating something that is not like you? You understand that these people as a whole don't give a fuck about black issues? You don't see what the Chinese are doing right now? You didn't hear the stories about what Arab people are doing to those African women over there? I'm not ever telling nobody in the black community to hate anybody who's not like us, because I respect everybody's culture. Always have, always will. But I don't understand why my people are so fucking adamant on being with people outside their community instead of being with people that are inside their community right the fuck now. Makes no sense. That's why I said I don't lose a lot of hope, because there are many black couples out there. I know a lot of them. I've been around a lot of them since I was a child. I don't understand what it's going to take, ladies and gentlemen, but what you're doing right now is not the way you should be going. You're making yourself look like complete fools. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry, this video is already 15 minutes. I can't believe I talked this long, but I had to get it all out. So let me know what you think about this, and I will talk to you next time. Peace out.